So you want to avoid the narcissist, the dusty men, the lazies, the 50-50 guys. Boy, do I have some tips for you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So glad to see you. So today we will be talking about ways to avoid dusty men. Now, what is a dusty man? It depends on the woman you ask. Everyone has their own opinion on what a dusty or undesirable man is. In my opinion, that's a man who is just low caliber, a man who's a liability to a woman, a man who's lazy, has no work ethic, is just looking to use a woman, a man who has low self-esteem, a man who hasn't accomplished much in life. Those men are bad for business. He puts his hands on women. He sees women as opportunities instead of an addition to his life. He doesn't value the labor of women. Yeah, these are dusty men. And they can also be ghetto, right? Like, dusty men can be just like a hood dude who is not going to do anything but ruin your life. So if you're trying to level up in any way, it's imperative for you to know how to avoid these types of men, because they're everywhere. They're in every racial group, every society, every country, every continent. It would be best for you to avoid them and avoid all the heartbreak, because as women, we know our time is way more valuable than that of a man, because we have less time to find a valid suitor, have children, build a family. Men can technically start doing that at any time. Literally, they can start a family at 45. You know, that's if they're accomplished or if they're at least good at talking. But us women, our time is way more valuable. We don't have time to lollygag and play around. So it's very important for us to avoid men like this. The list of ways to avoid those types of men, the men that you don't want, right? Especially when you're leveling up, and especially if you're in abuse recovery or you're recovering from a toxic relationship and you really want to do better with the choices of men. It really starts with you. So let's get into this list. I'm glad you're here. So point number one, it's very important for you to know how to dress yourself and groom yourself properly. So we are women. Everything on the outside is very important. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't be investing in your looks, your youth. You want to look expensive. You want to look like certain men cannot even afford to speak to you. The more expensive you look, the less chances of a dusty man coming your way. And when I say expensive and looking expensive, I don't mean name brands. You know, there's some people who what they're wearing is very expensive, like price tag wise, but the way how they put it together is just, it's not elegant and it just doesn't look classy. So you want to dress for class. I always say this to people, I'd rather be overdressed than underdressed. No one will ever look at you and say, wow, you're like literally so overdressed, like you look too nice for this event. Like, no one's gonna say that and be upset. So I'd much rather be the person who's a little overdressed than the person who's underdressed, because people will get mad at you if you're underdressed for their event or for their meeting or a dinner, whatever it is. So always like bring it up a notch, and you want to look extremely classy. And ways that you can look classy are, first of all, nails. You want to keep the nails as simple as possible. I love nudes, a French, even a red if that works with your skin tone. The appearance of your nails really do matter. You don't want your nails to be too long, blinged out, gems everywhere. very loud colors, bright colors, neons. Like, you don't want those on your nails, even if they look fabulous on you. And some of those colors do look great. But after a certain age, and if you are looking to attract certain men, you cannot wear those colors. Think of the neons and the blings and the bedazzles and everything as kind of like a signal to dusty men that you're available. You don't want to do that, sweetheart. So keep the nails very, and not short, like so short. You can keep them at a medium length, but you don't want them to be too long. You want it to look like you're a very professional woman. Whatever you do, like you're clean, because let's be honest, I know the girls with the long nails can clean themselves, like we get it. A lot of people still subscribe to the notion that if you have long nails, you don't properly clean yourself, you don't cook, you don't clean. So you don't want people thinking that of you, and what others think of you does matter to a certain degree. So you want to keep your nails like at a medium length, short length. I love a French, I love a nude. You can have a little glitter, you know, as long as it's just like tasteful and tactful. I think that's the best way to do your nails. These are even a bit loud for me, honestly, but this is a variation of a French with a nude, but I love that. It just looks really good on my skin. It makes me feel really feminine and cute, and I would much rather wear that than a neon. You could wear whatever you want, but at the end of the day, don't be surprised when you're attracting a certain type of man. And looks do matter. The things you wear, it does matter. So that's why I'm bringing it up. You want to keep your hair clean, groomed, whatever that means for you. Women come in all shapes, sizes, hair types. So whatever that means to you, you want to be well groomed. You want to smell good. You need to invest in perfumes, ouds, whatever it is. You want to just smell really nice. The lotions you wear should be scented. I mean, I wear like layers and layers of moisturizers, so my shea butter doesn't have a scent to it, but I like to lather up with shea butter and body oils and stuff like that. So those are more natural, but your lotions that you like keep at your desk or keep around the house or whatever, they should really have a nice smell to them. A woman smelling nice is imperative. So body sprays, keep them in the car, keep them in your home, keep them in your bedroom, keep them at your desk at work. It's very important to smell nice. You want to be known as the woman who always smells nice. Don't overdo it, but you want to you want to be known as the woman who smells nice versus the woman who literally doesn't smell like anything, or she smells a little funky. So the next point I have is make sure you're carrying yourself as the prize. Yes, because this is probably the highest or the most potent repellent for dusty and low caliber men, because in their warped reality, they think that they're the prize. So if you carry yourself as a woman who is to be cherished and honored, you will attract someone who has that same sentiment about you. So carrying yourself well means watch the way you walk, the way you talk. Walk slowly, like don't rush too much. Even if you're rushing, walk with a stride. Use your hips when you're walking and just like slow it down. A feminine woman never rushes. She might be rushing, but you don't want to be like you don't want to be like sweating, running, like going so hard. I mean, if you need to, like, say the environment is appropriate for that behavior or for that sweating and rushing, then by all means. But when you're just in a social environment, you want to be fluid. You want to just like move a certain way. And when you're walking across the room, you don't want to walk too fast, because that gives the impression that you're insecure and that you're kind of like neurotic, which is fine. It's okay to be neurotic. If you can just be perceived in a different way, then you want to put your best attributes on display, not your less attractive attributes. So a great way to combat that is to just slow down your walk, slow down your speech. But yeah, you're the prize. And even when you're speaking to men, make it known what you want. Be your authentic self, don't be fake. And when it comes to your clothing, you want to make sure that you're looking like you can pretty much go anywhere. You don't want to dress, you don't want things that are too revealing, like revealing of your midriff, or your midriff is what it's called. I know that's in like crop tops. Trust me, I went through my crop top phase. I get it, right? It's really cute, especially when your stomach is really flat and whatever, but you have to understand the more skin you show is the less likely that you're going to attract a man who's going to take you seriously. It's summertime, so you know, summer dresses, it's really easy to dress yourself and look classy. A nice summer dress, flat sandals, or a nice strappy heel, or without the straps, maybe just like a basic heel with a summer dress. And even if you're just going to the store, no one's going to crucify you if you overdress, and you'll look nice. You'll increase your social interactions with people. People will take you seriously. You look like you come from somewhere. And it's less likely that a man who is that of dust is going to approach you or disrespect you or just treat you or see you in a certain way. They won't even step up to you because you look so expensive and you look so much of high caliber that they're just not going to try it. They'll try the girls that look like on their level. Okay, so you want to keep it up. You want to dress for your husband, essentially. You want to dress for the man that you want to be the wife to. The man that you're going to marry is just not going to approach certain women who are dressed a certain way. It doesn't matter where you are. You can meet your husband at the store, at the bank, at the pharmacy. It doesn't matter. You want to always make sure that you look nice and you take the time to put yourself together. Show less skin, less of the bling bling. Keep things very classic, and whatever works for your skin tone, you just have to try different looks. But classic pieces, you can never go wrong with them. Certain men are just not going to walk up to you. They're not going to approach you. They'll look at you, they'll like check you out. They're not going to approach you. And then guess what's going to approach you? The dust bunnies. Point number 2, you want to speak eloquently. You want to properly express yourself without getting mad or getting too loud. You really should test your voice. Test your voice, record yourself when you're talking, make videos of yourself, talk out loud to yourself and record it and listen back to it. And just think, is this what I really want to sound like? Because when you, most people don't like how they speak or how they sound when they're being recorded. But it's important to face that fear, because guess what? When you present yourself in the world, most of the time you're speaking. So this is what people are hearing. So you want to make sure that you sound good, you sound intelligent, you sound eloquent, and you're able to express yourself eloquently. And don't make anyone make you feel bad for using proper grammar, for speaking eloquently, for speaking properly. I know that's a thing in the Black community. People will say that you're trying to talk a certain way when it's like, no, you're not trying to talk a certain way. You're just speaking proper English, and there is no shame in speaking, or there shouldn't be any shame of speaking proper English. So don't listen to people when they try to make fun of you for speaking a certain way. Because guess what? If you're out and about and you're the loudest girl, you're the loudest girl, your mouth is open, your tongue is out of your mouth, you are definitely going to attract a dust bunny, okay? Or even the high caliber man might approach you, but guess what? They're probably not approaching you for marriage. They're approaching you for something you probably don't want. So it's better to just watch your speech. And as a woman, when you're on this femininity journey, trying to level up or work on your self-development, it's important to just pay attention to women, even in the media, since they have a lot of visibility. Choose certain women in the media that where you admire how they dress, how they carry themselves, how they walk, how they speak. And it might be a different woman for each of the things I just said. And just study them. So you want to study how they are, but you don't want to come across as inauthentic. So kind of just take from the women that you admire in the media or on social media, right? and just put your own twang to it, your own twist on it, inject your personality. And yeah, it's important to watch your volume and your tone, so just keep that in mind, right? Okay. Next point that I have is make sure you're going to classy places and environments. You don't want to be in environments where there's a lot of dust, there's a lot of low caliber men and men hooting and hollering and stuff. A woman shouldn't be there if you're on the lookout for what you're looking for, right? Which is a higher caliber man. Go to places where you know you're going to find men, like grown men. Where do men like to go? Home Depot, maybe Barnes and Noble. Maybe you want an educated man. So just watch where you're going. And even if you go to certain places that there are going to be a lot of dusties, just make sure you look really nice so they won't approach you. They won't even talk to you because they'll be like, she looks very expensive. I know I can't afford her. They might try it. Don't even talk to them. Like, don't even respond. Just like pretend like you're hard of hearing and you didn't hear what they said. And they'll leave you alone. You know, men are persistent. They will try it. But it's up to you as a woman to just immediately deny it, and just keep in mind that men are watching you and you know, if you're in a social space, men are watching, or the man you want could be watching you from a distance to see how you interact with the dust when it approaches you. So don't even entertain the dust. Go to the beach, go to bookstores, go to museums, even though there's a lot of people with their families at museums, but just don't go to certain places where you know there's going to be certain men there. If you can avoid going there, just do so, and make sure you're spending your quality time in quality spaces. You will also want to make it known as soon as possible and as early on in the conversation what it is that you want, because you want to know if that is something that they can provide for you. And if they can't provide it, you need them to leave immediately because you don't have time to waste. But just make it known like what you're looking for, and they should be able to know what you're looking for based on the way how you present yourself. So the most important tip that I have on avoiding dusty men, and it's imperative, like if you don't do this one, nothing else will work. You have to work on your self-confidence, self-acceptance, high self-esteem. Confidence, true confidence, starts from within and it shines outward. So that's something you cannot fake. There's no way around this one. Yeah, you can't fake this step. You can't fake it. You have to really do that self-work and look at yourself in the mirror and say, why is it that I don't feel like I am tops here? And you have to face those things, either change it or accept it, and accept it with your whole heart. Abusers, toxic people, people who are looking to manipulate and use you will be able to sniff you out if you're faking it, right? So you need to do the internal work so that you really feel confident about all aspects of yourself, your accomplishments, your looks, your dark side. Do your shadow work on your childhood trauma, because if you don't work on those things, you are going to attract abusers. They're able to they just have this capability where they're able to find people who don't feel good about themselves and they're looking for easy prey. Yeah, you don't want to be easy prey to the dusties and the losers. So you have to work on your self-esteem. If you have things that you're not confident about and you can fix them, invest in yourself and fix them. If this is something that is not easily fixed, or it's just something you can't change, whether it be physical or otherwise, then you have to learn to accept it. And not surface level accept it, like deeply accept the ugly parts of yourself that you can't change. That way no one can use it against you, and you won't have this wound that everyone can kind of feel that you don't really like yourself. You are a mirror of what you attract. What you attract is how you feel about yourself. So that concludes my videos for today. Those are my top quick tips on avoiding men that you don't want to attract, the dust bunnies. If you have any questions, concerns, commentary, feel free to leave them in the comments. And again, thanks for watching. I appreciate all of the support. and you'll see me on the next video. Have a good day, guys.